The South Korean entertainment scene is back. Cha Eunwoo's name suddenly became a trending topic on various social media platforms after a statement he made in an exclusive interview sparked a wave of incredible reactions from fans around the world. No one is really prepared for what he reveals. Even his loyal fans, who all this time felt they knew every side of him, admitted that they were silent for a few seconds before their timelines were exploded by question marks, speculation, and emotional outbursts. It all started with a casual talk show that initially seemed ordinary. Cha Eunwoo, who is known to be always calm, polite, and calculating in every word, came with a simple but elegant black suit. Her gentle smile as always greets the camera. There were no signs that the evening would become one of the most talked about moments of his career. He talks about his latest projects, about music, about acting, even about his childhood memories. The audience in the studio laughed, the host smiled contentedly, and the atmosphere was warm. But everything changed when the host, in a half-joking tone, asked one simple question. "Is there something that you have not said to fans so far?" For a moment, Cha Eunwoo was silent. The silence was long. The camera captured small details that are rarely seen. His downcast gaze, his interlocking fingers, and a slightly deeper breath than usual. The fans who watched the live broadcast began to write quick comments. "Why does he look serious? What is it? Why is my heart beating?" Then he lifted his face, looked straight into the camera, and said in a quieter voice than usual, "There's something I've been wanting to tell you for a long time. I don't want to keep it to myself." That sentence alone is enough to make social media shake. As a member of the ASTRO group, Cha Eunwoo has been known as an almost flawless figure. His visual, often called the face of genius, acting talent that has continued to develop since starring in dramas such as True Beauty, until his clean personal image made him one of the most beloved public figures of this generation. That's why, when he said there was something that he had kept, the public's curiosity immediately piqued. He continued in a steady, yet emotional voice, "I'm not always as strong as I look." That simple sentence struck many hearts at once. For years, Cha Eunwoo was revered for his perfection. But behind his handsome face and brilliant career, he admitted to harboring pressures that he never really told about publicly. He talks about expectations, about how from the beginning of his debut, he felt that he should always smile, always look good, always be the best version of himself without gaps. "I'm afraid to disappoint," he said softly. "I was afraid that if I showed my weak side, people would see me differently." Studio hushed. No laughter. No applause. Only empathetic silence. The confession may sound simple to some, but to his fans, it was a shocking statement. Because all this time, Cha Eunwoo was a symbol of tranquility. He rarely looks shaky, rarely stumble into controversy, rarely show too extreme emotions. He is like a stable figure in the midst of the storm of the entertainment industry. That night, however, he opened up a side rarely seen. He admitted that there were times when he felt very tired. Not only physically because of the busy schedule, but also mentally. "Sometimes I ask myself, do people like me because I am who I really am, or because of the image they have of me?" That question resonated far beyond the studio. On social media, thousands of fans began sharing snippets of the video. His name is surging. Some wrote that they were crying. Some admit to feeling guilty because they may have unknowingly placed too high expectations on him. Not stopping there, Cha Eunwoo also revealed that there are big decisions he is considering for his life and career. He did not mention the details clearly, but the sentence is enough to make many parties speculate. "I want to try to live a little more true to myself," she said. "Maybe that means I'm going to make choices that don't always live up to everyone's expectations." The sentence became the subject of a long discussion. Will it reduce activity? Will it focus on just one area? Will he take a break? Or is there something more personal? Some entertainment analysts say that this recognition shows his emotional maturity. In an industry that often demands flawless perfection, the courage to admit weakness is rare, especially for a figure as big as Cha Eunwoo. But what made his statement even more disturbing was the last part he conveyed. "I am so grateful for the love I received, but I also want to be loved as an ordinary human being, not just as Cha Eunwoo is on screen." Her tears seemed to be welling up, although they didn't really fall. He smiled slightly, as if trying to calm the fans who might be panicking. Reactions were mixed. Part of the fans wrote a long message of support, stating that they would still love her no matter what her choice. Others admit that they are anxious, afraid of possible changes. There were also those who began to speculate wildly, attributing his statements to issues that he did not mention at all. But one thing is certain. That night, Cha Eunwoo shows that behind the perfect image, there is a young man who also struggles with pressure, doubt, and the need to be heard. A few days after the interview, his agency released a brief statement confirming that no drastic decision would be announced in the near future. They mentioned that Cha Eunwoo just wanted to share his feelings honestly with fans. The statement eased the panic a little, but the discussion did not immediately stop. On the contrary, many are beginning to look back on their career journey with a new perspective. From a long trainee period, debuting with ASTRO, to stepping into the world of acting with challenges, everything now feels more human. He is not only a visual genius or idol actor, but someone who has also felt fear, fatigue, and doubt. On various forums, fans started sharing stories about how Cha Eunwoo's confession made them feel closer to him. Some say that they themselves all this time pretended to be strong in front of others. There are those who claim to have learned that it's okay not to always look perfect. And perhaps, that's the most surprising thing about all of this. It's not about scandal. It's not about sensation. But about honesty. In a world that is often awash with gossip and dramatization, a simple admission of vulnerability becomes big news. Because the public is used to seeing the glamorous side, not the fragile side. When a figure as big as Cha Eunwoo chose to slightly open the curtains that had been tightly closed, the impact felt so vast. Some pop culture observers even call this moment a turning point in her image. No longer just a symbol of visual perfection, but a symbol of the courage to be authentic. In an era where young people increasingly value honesty and mental health, this step is considered relevant and powerful. Until now, pieces of the interview are still being shared. Every time someone watches it, the reactions that appear are almost the same: surprised, overwhelmed, and finally smiling. Because in the end, the shocking thing Cha Eunwoo revealed wasn't something sensational. He does not announce marriages, does not reveal conflicts, does not make controversial statements. He just said he was human. And perhaps that is precisely what makes it so shaking. Amidst the glittering stage lights and camera glare, he chose to be honest. And from that honesty, a wave of empathy is born that is greater than anything that rumors or sensations can create. The fans are now waiting with mixed feelings between anxiety and pride, anxious about the changes that might come, but proud that their idols dare to speak from the heart. If there's one thing to be gleaned from this moment, it might be a reminder that even those who seem most perfect have an invisible side. And when that side is finally shown, the world does not collapse. Quite the contrary, the world feels a little warmer. Cha Eunwoo probably started the night with a smile as usual, but he closed it with something far more meaningful. A confession that made millions feel less alone. And since then, Cha Eunwoo's name is not only synonymous with handsome faces or popular dramas. It is also synonymous with the courage to say, "I am also human." The wave of reactions that arose after the recognition did not subside in a matter of days. Instead, more and more pieces of video, analysis of facial expressions, and long theories appear in various fan communities. Every second of the interview is replayed, zoomed in, and dissected. The way Cha Eunwoo lowered his head, the pauses before he spoke, even the faint smile at the end of his sentence became the subject of endless discussion.